is
Zaza.
Oh, yeah.
Fitzy and
Sweet as.
Wippa.
Hey guys. Podcast time. You know what I hate about podcasts? Long introductions. You know when you go into your podcast and you go, shut up and get to the interesting stuff. Have you heard that? There's an ad, there's another ad, and you go, yeah.
KFC?
Turn your mic on, mate.
I don't control my mic.
Hey? Isn't that KFC?
Shut up and take my money?
Shut up
that what you mean?
Shut up and play my podcast.
Shut up and play a
Here's the
segment.
new one for Fitzy and Wippa. Podcast numbers have been through the bloody roof. Everyone's loving it, mate. Says.
You little rippers. Thanks, guys. Good support. You
Little rippers.
Rippers.
Yes, the new podcast. Sorry, Tom, we're just recording the podcast.
Yes.
Hey, Tom, how are you, mate? This is the intro for the podcast.
Did you just say there's pastries that have arrived?
You said pastries.
Pastries have arrived.
You're
I
kidding
haven't
me.
eaten breakfast. Let's do
What
this.
sort of
arrive?
pastries? Bring them in, Tom. We'll get on with the podcast. Have a good one.
The Fitzy and Wippa podcast.
You often say to me after the show, Fitz, if you could do one thing in this world, if you could have one skill, what would it be? And I say the same thing every day. I'd love to be able to write music. I don't even need to perform it. I just want to be able to write it. I want to be able to create that beautiful piece that will last in someone's mind or live in someone's heart forever.
You want to be like a Bernie Taupin who
Yeah.
wrote all Elton John's songs
Yep.
and no one knows what he looks
And I
like.
go, and I walk up to Elton, I go, hey, Elton, whack some keys on this, son.
What?
And the next thing you know, it's a hit.
What does wax my keys?
No, whack some keys.
Wax some keys.
Yeah, whack some keys. Like
What, he cleaned the piano?
No, just to clear up.
Right.
I'll do it again in a more simple form with more common words.
Yeah.
Hey, Elton, put music to that.
Or play this on the piano.
Okay, well, I could say that. I mean, this is a hypothetical, so it really doesn't matter what words we go for. But I always think, and we always ask questions also of artists when they come in here and they go, when you write, is there a special place that you go to?
Yeah.
Or what is your technique? Do you write the words first or do you write the music first? And, you know, you hear those stories about some of the greatest songs that you've ever heard and they're written within 4 or 5 minutes. You know, they just flow
I
out.
know, I find that fascinating. Well, yesterday...
What a gift.
Yesterday was written in 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah. And then you hear stories like the Beatles of Let It Be, where John Lennon woke up in the morning and he had it as a dream.
I know.
He
Yeah.
thought, my God, what is that? What is that tune in my head? Does anybody else know it?
I find that fascinating.
Extraordinary. Chris Martin, one of the great artists of our modern era.
Genius.
Yellow is a huge song. And one of their older songs as a band goes, but one of their biggest songs.
Well, this means a lot to me because this song was the first song that I illegally downloaded.
On LimeWire or Napster?
Napster.
Awesome.
So it was me, Heath James, Jude Bolton. We were in our
Sitting at the
place
computer.
in Botany, 7 Daphne Street, Botany, and we're at the computer and we heard about this new Napster thing. Yeah. And we downloaded it and we went on there and I went, mate, I was looking at a Rolling Stone magazine at the time and there was this up-and-coming band called Coldplay. I said, put in Coldplay. Let's listen to one of their songs. And Yellow popped up. We illegally downloaded it. Couldn't believe that we saved 30 cents and it was the best day of our life.
Do you know what? Then when I realised you could download songs on Napster, I drilled a hole in the floor, right? And then drilled a hole in the brickwork under the floor so I ran a lead from the computer to the stereo so I could play Napster on the computer and it would come out through the stereo. I couldn't believe that you could get free music like
Bring
this.
back Napster.
Chris Martin has come out and spoken about, you know, the art of songwriting and what inspired him to write a song like Yellow, how he started with the tune and also how he came to the words Yellow. Have a listen.
And then that chord, I started doing that. And I started thinking about Neil Young, and I was like, stars. I was just messing around. This is really this very humble beginnings. For you. Then I got the title from the Yellow Pages, which was about 45-degree angle over there. They were all, I was looking for a word which was like, yellow.
There was a Yellow Pages sitting in the corner of the room and he went, I don't know, they were all, what else is over there? Coffee cup? No, that's not going to work. Clock? No. Yellow.
First of all,
Funny.
I didn't know they were still making the Yellow Pages. I suppose this would have been, it was 2000.
Yeah, it would have been a while ago.
Yeah.
He would have been using it as a doorstop.
Oh, that is a great story.
You hear these great artists and these awesome songs and you think there must be real depth. Why were the stars yellow? What, oh my God, what does that mean? Is it something with like a golden heart? What is the
poetry.
link to that? No, it's a stack of books that you used to sit on at the hairdresser, mate, as a kid.
And then
That's all it is.
He opened up the Yellow Pages and went to S, songwriters, just to help him finish it off. Yes. Found someone.
Ticked it off, got it out to the world.
Oh, that's great.
Still a hit to today.
The yellow pages.
You're a
That
gift,
means
Chris
so
Martin.
much to me. That's emotional.
Do you know what? Travel stress can take a hike.
With lots of fully refundable hotels, whatif.com has got you covered.
Just remember, booking cancellation windows apply.
So go and relax and book your next trip with confidence at whatif.com.
What if it's Aussie for travel?
This is a really bad mistake, but I can understand where this guy's coming from. Leon Gleed, 29 years of age. He's in love with his girlfriend Sadie Williams, and Sadie popped down to the local 7-Eleven and she purchased some Tesco's active flushable toilet wipes.
Yeah?
So think about it. Active flushable toilet wipes.
You're flushing kidding me.
No, but they're for cleaning the toilet.
They're for cleaning the toilet,
Yeah,
Sarah.
not for
So
your
she's
bum.
come home and put it next to the toilet to clean the toilet. Leon's come home from a hard day at work and he's a lorry driver, so he's sitting down in the truck all day and for the next couple of days, he's been using them to wipe his bum. But they're antibacterial wipes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so chemical heavy.
So he has then developed a huge rash that has become so painful that he's had to go to emergency. There he is there. There's Leon with the active.
Leon.
Okay.
And Tesco's now replied and said, I'm so sorry, it was a silly mistake. Obviously, we might try to change the name of it, but you do not wipe your bum with them, you wipe the toilet with them.
This was a big issue a while ago when it blocked the system up, and now that comment I made about you flushing kidding me, that's the billboard getting around at the moment with Shane Jacobson on it.
Well, that's
Because
right.
people thought that you could flush them, and that's what they were about. This is different because this is just misleading.
Well, they developed, what are they called down in the pipes? What are the big...
Oh,
a fat
grease
berg.
trap.
Fatberg.
Fatberg.
So the Fatberg's all the oil and the
Yuck.
grease, and it's also
Yuck.
the baby wipes, and it builds up and it
Yuck.
blocks all the pipes down there, and we can't get it out.
I mean, these things shouldn't be called that. But at the same time, did he not realise after wipe one that his ring was a bit on the sting?
Oh, but it wouldn't hurt instantly. I had a friend who bleached their bath just
I
to
didn't know where
clean
you were
it.
going there, mate.
No.
I thought they only did that in Hollywood.
Well, that
Bleached
cost
their
me
bath.
$800 to get done.
But it looks good.
But
Nice
you-
consistency.
You don't realise then the kids have a bath if you haven't cleaned
Yes.
it enough times between bleach and... Yeah, and they...
In the eyes.
No, all their backsides
They went
were
white.
all red and raw. That's lovely, Whips.
Says I always do that. I rinse the bath out after it's been wiped and washed. But for this guy here, especially with his job where he's actually sitting down the whole time,
Well, this
he
is-
wouldn't have been able to drive his truck.
He can't.
with his rash.
He can't get into his truck. He can't drive at all because every time he goes to sit down, he has constant chafing and burning pain around his ring.
Poor guy.
I had a rash once. I had a bad rash. It wasn't really a rash. It was more of an irritation. And it was in a similar area, Fitz. And it was the most frustrating thing I reckon I've ever experienced. Like,
How did you get it?
I don't know. I don't know.
Where was it?
It was right there.
What?
Yeah. And I was trying all sorts of creams. You know, you're applying with
brooms.
lubricants, creams,
Maybe stop touching
powders. Do you know what saes? I went to the doctor. Like, I was panicking, and I thought, this is so embarrassing to have to
Was
take...
it a proctologist
No,
or
just,
just a
the
normal-
GP.
because they're not going up. They'd
the
be looking.
gates.
No, they're just having a look. The gates of hell.
The gates of hell.
So I had to go in there,
Yeah.
and I'd said, I'll take any doctor that can have a look at me because I'm panicking. And I walked in, it was this beautiful little woman, right?
Well, that's got...
And I thought,
Her physical appearance has nothing
no, but
to
I
do with anything.
thought she seems so gentle, she shouldn't have to be exposed. You're really going to the ring of fire.
Dental? Dental?
No,
Did you have teeth down
she shouldn't have to see
Bite marks.
what I'm about to
The
expose.
gerbil was
So
trying
I
to get out.
lay there on the side, I'm pushing through here, and I just...
Quite literally.
I had to lift a cheek to reveal the horror, and all she said was, geez, there's a lot going on here, isn't there?
Oh, my gosh.
And I went, well,
You-
what are you seeing?
It was hard to get you off the desk because of the suction. It was... She couldn't get you off to have a
I
look.
should have had a shower before I went there.
Geraldine's given us a call from East Linfield. You had a similar thing happen to you, Geraldine.
Exactly the same thing. I use a Pino Clean wipe.
Oh, no. Was it
My bottom.
painful,
I use
Geraldine?
more than one.
Yeah.
And, oh, dear God, did I pay for it? It's just
What was the
awful.
result? For how long, Geraldine?
Oh, God, I think I must have had it for a couple of weeks. It was just,
Ooh.
I because it was in the same sort of packaging, I
Yes.
just didn't even think. Oh, God.
Pino clean swipe.
Well, at least you got a clean bum, though. You're pretty confident with that, aren't you?
Oh, and lemon fresh, I would suggest, around the ring there.
Mr. Sheen.
Oh, my God, I've
He's
never
done
seen
it
it
again. Mel in Helensburgh, what did your body react to on a bushwork, Mel?
Well, I had a bit of a dodgy tummy, 10 k's into the woods.
No.
Just had to answer the call of nature. Nearest bush was these lovely big round heart-shaped leaves, and found out a bit too soon that they were stinging nettles.
And where did the nettles embed themselves, Mel?
On the unmentionable areas that Wippa was just mentioning.
Oh, my God.
And then had to walk the 10 k's back to civilization.
Right, with it
Very slowly.
with it all in there. With it all in there. And did you then have to go to the doctor and say, hey, grab your tweezers? Looks like I've sat on... Looks like I've sat on a
Chrissy Swan's
porcupine.
outside the studio. She's still here. She's laughing her head off. Sorry, Mel. She's laughing at you.
Oh, Mel.
Fine.
How do you get them out, Mel?
Well, it was more just a rash and the raised up skin that it had caused, not actual little nettles. But it wasn't pleasant.
Oh, see, because they're like barbed,
Oh, yeah,
aren't
but
they?
you can hardly see them either. They're so fine. Tommy, I never thought we'd get to this on the show. 13, 24, 10. When did you burn out your bumhole? Is that what you're suggesting?
No, that's not what I'm
What
saying.
did your body react
Yeah.
to?
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
It could include that.
I mean,
Straight back to asses for you, isn't
Hey,
it?
that's the topic we're on,
Yeah.
Sarah. I didn't bring this
No.
up.
Done
This is
farts,
Fitzy's
we've
story.
done animals.
The body.
This is
The
Fitzy.
The whole body reacts. Shannon in Bundina, what did your body react to?
So when I was 6 years old, I was in primary school and we had a little garden there. So I stole a chili from it and ate it. Turns out I am severely allergic to chilies.
God.
Did your
So
throat
I had
swell up?
a rash all over my body and I was itching it and rubbing it because it was obviously burning.
Yeah.
And the teacher said, "Where did you get this chili from?" So I blamed it on my brother and said he put it in my sandwich.
Oh, Shannon.
It goes down well at
Shannon,
home.
and have you ever had a chili since that day?
Yes, I've actually grown a tolerance now, but back in the day I couldn't even have
Oh, chilies are very
wings
dangerous.
or Red Rock deli chips.
Oh, yeah.
Have a
Believe.
full reaction.
You've brought your brother down with you as well with a sinking ship. Well done, Shan. Thanks for your call. Mandy in Mascot, what happened to your ex's parents, Mandy?
Oh, well, there was getting a bit thingy, and they reached out for some body oil,
Yeah.
and it wasn't body oil, it was DP.
Oh, yep.
Put it on the bit.
That'll hurt. Ew.
How long did that sting for there, Mandy?
Oh, I reckon quite a while.
Oh, mate. Yeah, we've done that a couple of times in the change rooms.
Yeah.
Just in the undies as they put them on.
Oh.
It's good stuff, DP. It's
is.
amazing, and I love the smell.
Yep.
Love the smell. Actually, Tommy, have you got any
Deep
in
heat
the
in here.
studio?
Has anyone had that accident where, and it happens for guys and girls, where if you've been cooking with chili and then go to the bathroom and maybe touch your privates,
Yes.
you might need to run it under the tap for a while. Easier for a guy than a girl, you might say, unless you're in the backyard with a hose or a sprinkler. But
Well done.
You're on the Fitzy and Wippa podcast.
Chris, this bloke, has gone on to tell a story, and he hasn't actually expressed why he did it. And she's left wondering. It was a beautiful, beautiful moment when he got down on one knee and put a ring on her beautiful finger. She cried, telling him, "Yes, yes, yes, I will marry you."
It's a good sign when they cry, isn't it?
Yeah, I
Do you know
think
what?
so.
I find it hard when women don't cry.
Why is that?
Because you should.
Sarah, it's one of the biggest moments of your life, and I thought it would be emotional. And if you can surprise someone, when you see proposals and women don't cry, I'm a bit like, I don't think she's into him as
Hang
everyone.
on. I didn't cry either time.
Oh, well, that's because you had gastro on the first one.
Well,
You're in bed and you just spent half an hour on the bowl.
different tears.
Can I throw it out there? Is it
Yeah.
harder the second time because you've already done it once?
Well, we had 2 kids and I was sitting in a restaurant just thinking, and he wouldn't get down on one knee the second time. He said he had a bad back.
Yeah.
So I wasn't going to cry in that moment, no.
Yeah.
I mean, it's beautiful what happened here. She thought that she was in with a chance, so she wore a stunning black dress, it says. She nervously waited for the moment, and he got down on one knee, and then he held my arms and asked me that magical question that I'd been waiting for. Will you marry me? And you know what? Ran off, told the friends, everybody. The phone just went wild because he told everyone he was going to do it. So it was, did you get a yes, mate? Did you get a yes?
Yeah, classic.
I remember calling my mum and dad, and Dad said, did she say yes? Oh, give me a break.
Christine would have cried her eyes out.
Christine would have had a tear.
Yeah.
The bloke from the hotel came up and took a photo, which was great. He didn't know what was going on.
Christine would have been thinking about straight away, what am I going to wear to that wedding?
Oh, my God. How much cleavage will I have? About 10 centimetres? What am I going to go with?
And I did point that out as MC.
Oh, that my mother had smashing cleavage. What was weird was it then turned out that she'd been celebrating with her friends because when she said, how did your family take the news? He then said, I haven't told them yet. Her side of the family and friends are celebrating. Yeah. He told a couple of mates but kept it separate from his family. She said, why haven't you told the family? He said, because I'm not sure I've made the right decision.
Ah, that's a bit off, isn't it?
Proposal over.
Oh, so look, this is what I'm saying. He's gone to a couple of friends and they've gone, mate, she is not the right one for you. He's actually thought about it. He slept on it, woke up in the morning and said, this is not right.
You reckon someone pulled him aside?
Well, it's happened.
You just put a ring on a turkey's finger.
I know a mate. How's this for last minute, Sarah? But I know a mate the night before the wedding.
Yeah.
And you know how the guys get together, the groomsmen get together, you have a couple of beers, you remember the old times. Hey, but everyone's got to get some sleep. Big day tomorrow. And then there was a conversation going on saying, do we pull him aside and say, mate, you can still get out of this?
Hey, Damo, come over here for a tea. Grab a seat, mate.
It is way too late as a friend to speak up at that moment. You've had time.
I told you a story about a phone call we got on this radio show one time, and it was somebody saying that he was getting married the next day. They were playing golf the next morning, him and his best mate, and the mate said to him, you just don't look yourself. And he said, maybe I'm a little bit nervous. The mate said, wait here. I'll be back in a tick. He went and got 2 tickets to Bali. He said, do you want to fly with me today? We'll nick off.
Great romantic plan.
Or do you want to go and get married tomorrow?
Or do you want to go get a henna tattoo?
Yeah. He went to Bali.
Braid your hair.
He went to Bali. And that's how it was done. But how have you gone out with someone for so long and the research you've done into the rings that she might like and what you want to do? You've built to this moment.
No, it's very different. It's very different when you suddenly then go, oh, my God, we actually are engaged. Like, the reality of that moment might hurt.
Yeah, you're right, Sam. Well, let's ask Jess in Schofields, what happened with your friend's engagement?
So they got engaged and were so happy about it. Together for like 6 months, set out like after engagement, sent out their wedding invitations, they saved the date. He broke up with her 2 days later because he cheated on her.
Oh, well, okay. Well, there's I mean, that's a concrete decision that he's made.
Yeah, it wasn't a panic moment.
But that's a way to get out of it, isn't it? Going and cheating on someone.
Yeah, but maybe for blokes who think once they've proposed, all right, I've probably got 6 months before my wedding, here's the time. Because after that, then I'm cheating on my wife. I've never cheated on my wife. We weren't married then.
Never understood, right? If you're a cheater, you're a cheater, okay? That you can't align yourself to one woman. I've always understood that, right? That's the person you are, and I've known a lot of ex-footballers who have been like that. But why do you have to get married then?
I know, what's the point?
Don't get married. You know what? If you want to live your life like that, go in and out of relationships, but don't commit yourself to someone and ruin their life.
It's like when you hear stories of guys that'll have, 2 families or 2 women on the go permanently, or maybe 3 or 4.
Why do you bother?
Different phones. Why do you bother? How do you have the time? And how do you get away with it?
Tom?
No, that's not. You were actually asking me.
Yeah, Tom. No, we weren't putting it out there to anyone else but you.
James in Piermont. Tell us about your mate, Jim.
Yeah, he didn't change his mind straight away. He actually changed it the morning of the wedding, and we were in Germany for it.
Oh,
wow.
Everyone flew to Germany. Did someone get into his ear, James, or why did he change his decision?
No, so he always wanted a big family, and he didn't think she'd be a good mother.
Oh my God.
And he realised that when everyone had flown over to Germany, James?
Sure was. I was part of the wedding party.
God, so did he break down into tears, or were you guys at Oktoberfest and there was a busty girl serving you big jars of beer?
We were just too busy trying to figure out how we were going to not make it a scene.
And how did he tell her?
Pretty brutally, to be honest. Pretty much how I told you guys.
Oh, gosh. That is
there were lots of tears.
Long way to go. What do you do in that position when you've gone all the way? You straight onto a Kentucky?
You'd be more annoyed as a guest.
Yeah, you
like
would.
the family friend who took the time off work and packed up the family.
Do you know, And for
Germany.
the girl, embarrassing for the bride to go, thanks so much for coming along. He doesn't want me anymore.
She learnt Ich liebe dich.
Sorry,
which
mate?
is I love you in German.
Oh, okay.
And
Thought that
she
was the
thought,
hen's
this is
party."
my moment to bring it out. I've been learning it for so long.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, she didn't even get to do that.
There's one thing I'd like to say to everybody that's flown from around the world to be here. Ich liebe dich.
Yep. What's you absolute tool in German? 13 24 10. Give us a call.
Google Translator. Thanks, buddy.
Tash has given us a call from Mount Druitt. How far before the wedding did you have to call it off, Tash?
A month before. So I went on a work trip with a group of girls, and I came back to my fiance in bed with another woman, pretending that my house was hers and my daughter was hers.
What are you talking about?
He set that up to her to say this is all yours.
Yeah, so my fiance was in bed and saying that my house and my daughter was all hers, and that I basically came back to walk into that a month before we were meant to get married.
Oh, my God. And you had no indication before that?
No clue. I was meant to get picked up from the airport, and I thought it was a little bit sketchy that I had to catch an Uber home, and I came into someone else in my bed.
Did you know that girl? Did you know who it was?
No, I had no clue, and now they're happily living somewhere else.
My God.
Big question is, Tash, how was the girls'
After
trip?
4 years as well.
How was the girls' trip, though, Tash? Was it a good one, though? Yeah.
Good. The girls' trip was good, so that made up for it.
Okay.
That's a tough one.
Tash, were they in the middle of anything when you walked in?
Yes.
We're not talking positions or anything like
And
that.
I was screaming. I was like, where is my daughter? I was like, what is this?
That's the strangest thing I've ever heard.
Going on
Yep.
through people's brains.
God, you were screaming, she was screaming.
That is unbelievable. A month before the wedding.
He
And
wanted
they were
to
in
get
Germany,
caught, though.
which was
You reckon?
Yes.
You reckon he wanted to get caught?
Of course he did. Like, there's things and things. Like, people can hide things if they want to. Other people just want to get caught. They don't know how.
Get an Uber home.
Well done,
Come up to the
James.
bedroom and say hi when you're in.
The Fitzy and Wippa podcast.
A lot of people are absolutely scared of elevators, lifts, whatever you want to call it. My old man can't get into a lift these days.
Why not?
Freaks out, gets claustrophobic. If there's numerous people in the lift, if a lift opens and there's any more than 3 people, he will not get into that lift.
Really?
Yeah, he finds it hard to breathe.
Oh, that's
And
tough.
one of his biggest fears is if that lift, breaks down and he's
Yeah.
stuck in there and can't get out.
I mean, it would be horrible. I mean, Tommy and I used to work with a girl in the sales department, and she would take the stairs. I mean, we were 4 floors up. She wouldn't get in a lift. So it was always be, all right, well, we'll meet you at the bottom. See you down there.
Yeah.
But I think the fear, for me, getting stuck in the lift doesn't really concern me. A lift dropping would concern me.
Absolutely.
And being stuck in a lift if I needed to get to a toilet and I'm in there with other people and you go, oh my God, all of a sudden the curry from last night's not sitting too well. Guys, turn your back, I'm in the corner.
I do love it. I love the lift. I love the ambience that you get in there. It was always a chuckle. The awkwardness I do love as well.
Yep.
You can always check yourself out in the mirror.
We'll just look at the numbers as it goes up.
How's this guy in Abbotsford? He was a lift worker. Lucky to be alive. So a New South Wales ambulance inspector by the name of Lucky Francis.
Okay.
Lucky is her name. She came out and said this guy he should have been dead. So he's put his head into the lift cavity and the lift has come down.
Are you kidding me?
And it stopped at the right time, but it squeezed his head into the lift cavity and into the lift, and he's had to get rescued.
My God.
So they had to put a vice in to get the lift back up.
Oh, God,
But if
look
it
at
dropped any more and the weight of the lift
Snap
gone,
his neck.
he would have been gone.
Wow.
Taking his head off.
So, hang on, why did he put his head there?
Well, he was just checking it out because he was servicing the lift and he put his head up
Right.
the cavity
And
the
then it
lift
came down.
The lift went down, but luckily it only came down a couple of inches.
Oh, the poor guy.
I had a mate at a party one time, and they had like a boathouse or something, and the lift doors opened, and he stepped in, and the lift wasn't there. And he fell to the bottom, so he fell 1 floor and landed sort of on his side. So all down here was the biggest bruise you've ever seen, but he couldn't get out.
So what?
This was at sort of 2 o'clock in the morning. So he lay there till people turned up that were cleaning up the party the next day, and he was just yelling out to them.
On the top of the lift?
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. No,
No.
he's not landed on the top of the lift. He's landed on the ground. The lift is floors
Lift
above
further
him.
up.
So there'll be a worry that the lift would come down on you.
Absolutely.
But I guess
Complete panic.
it never lands on the bottom, does it? It would land about, but still not much breathing space.
Darren from Mossman, where did you get stuck in a lift, Ags?
I was in America, and it was Memorial Day, and I was stuck in a lift, and there was a lady who was claustrophobic, obviously. She was climbing the walls, and there was a guy who obviously needed to go to the bathroom because he was doing an Irish gig, and we were there for about 40 or 45 minutes, and it was just hysterical.
So
this lady just didn't know where to go. She was just trying to scratch the walls, and this guy just kept dancing. So
how did you calm her down, Darren?
Well, there was no way to calm her down because I kept saying, look, it's Memorial Day, it's a public holiday, it's probably going to take a while for the engineer to come to sort it out. But she just lost it. She was like your dad. There was too many people in the lift. There was a small lift. There was no glass on it, so you couldn't see out.
Oh, God. Horrible. And Darren, did the other bloke do a wee in the corner by the end, or did he get out in time?
I don't know. To protect his modesty, I think he did, but he turned around, so I could only see his back.
Good effort, man. Good effort. Heath in Toongabbie, what was your lift story?
Hey guys and girls, how are we?
Yeah, good, Heathy.
Yeah, so pretty much went on my first cruise ever. It was when I was 13, and I went with my grandma and the rest of the family, and they always said, don't use the lifts, leave them for the elderly or the people who can't go up the stairs, right? And I said, all right, sweet. But one day we were eating dinner, and I was so stuffed, could not be bothered to climb up 10 flights of stairs. So I thought, you know what, I'll take the elevator, and there was 10 people in there with me.
Yeah.
And we got up to the 6th floor, and we got stuck, and we were stuck in there for 16 hours.
No
What,
way.
16 hours with 10 people, Heath?
Yeah, and but they were all girls, so I was having the time of my life.
Silver lining.
Could you sit down, Heath? No, you couldn't sit down?
It was just big enough because we were all not too tall or anything. Luckily, we had enough leg room, but yeah, so in there 16 hours.
Oh, my God. Anyone need the bathroom, Heath?
No one at all, luckily.
Did you play any games or get to know each other, Heath?
What, spin the bottle?
We're playing I Spy.
Yeah, you got to keep yourself occupied.
Yeah. 16 hours, though, without weeing. That's not good.
That doesn't seem right. Heath, did you make any lifelong friends out of that? Did you bond with anybody there or get it on?
Well, we're on the cruise for about 15 days, so I just hung around them and made other friends as well. So,
Oh, God, every cloud.
Well done, Health. Stephanie from Kingsgrove has given us a call. Did you get stuck in the lift?
Good morning, guys. Yes, I did. So basically, I was in my second year of my apprenticeship. I was working as a pastry chef. I was working in a hotel. It was 5 a.m. on Christmas Eve. I was going to do my normal morning setups in the kitchen, and I was going through the staff service lift to get between one kitchen and another.
They stink.
Yes, I know. It wasn't fun. So then I had gotten all of the dirty plates from the night before from one kitchen to take them back down to the pastry kitchen.
Yeah.
I closed the door, go up to where the pastry kitchen is, and then the lift just stops.
Yep.
But it's 5 a.m. on Christmas Eve, so I'm trying to call security. No one's answering. So I'm stuck there until the next person to come in, which was probably about 45 minutes later. And I start yelling to let them know, I'm stuck. And then I was stuck in there for the next 5 hours.
Oh
my God. Christmas Eve.
With the dirty dishes as well, Steph.
Did you lick a dirty dish in a moment of hunger?
You know, there was a point where I'm like, I wish there was leftover stuff on these plates, but no, unfortunately, there was no cakes that I could nibble on while I was waiting.
To think you're missing David Campbell at the Carols as well. Would have killed you.
Exactly.
Would have killed you.
See, we haven't even started on the escalator.
Oh, no, there's another story. Do that tomorrow, should we?
And growing up with the teeth.
A lift has never fallen, though, has it? You never hear stories of where the lift...
Yeah, Die Hard.
Die Hard.
Or Die Hard,
Speed. Very beginning, the lift falls.
Yeah,
the woman goes through the floor.
Because they always say if you're in a lift and it falls, just before it gets to the bottom, jump. Yeah, you've got to get your timing right.
I thought
Because you might hit your head on the roof. You just kind of feel for it.
What, you see the floors going.
Yeah, and then I guess you sort of know we must almost be there jumping.
Yeah, jump up.
Yeah.
Then you'll be fine.
But you're still going at a rapid pace.
Hey,
I reckon.
here's a fun fact. For lifts that have fallen, it's not the fall that kills the people. It's the weight of the cable that then comes smashing through the roof that's attached to the lift.
I don't think
that kills the individual.
Do you know what? First of all, it's not fun.
That is.
It's not a fun fact because there's nothing fun about it.
No, shock fact.
And that's,
right
you know
there.
what, that's like they say people who fall from cliffs or buildings, they die of shock before they hit the ground.
Who says that? And how do they know?
Yeah.
What, they ran a study?
Maybe passed out.
It. Well, let's do it. Let's experiment next week. Commercial radio. Matt DeGroot.
Okay.
All right, mate.
I'm just sitting here politely minding my own business.
There's a big cable coming your way.
Have you been watching Final Destination or something? Is there a reason you're fascinated by this?
Just a shock fact this morning. Not fun, but shock.
The Fitzy and Wippa podcast.
Lights, camera, hilarity.
Ooh, Sarah.
The top trending stories in entertainment this morning. Britney Spears has caused chaos on an LA freeway. So she... super busy traffic and she has run out of gas.
Oh my God.
Britney, is her old man taking her money again or what's happened to her?
Doesn't she have a driver?
No, she drives herself. I mean, remember all the pictures of her with the baby on her lap behind the wheel back in the day? She likes to drive herself places.
Do you know, I saw for the first time, Tesla, a guy was in his car driving on his computer, on his laptop in the car.
No way.
And wasn't even looking at the road, and the car was driving for him. It was in traffic, so everything was going slow, back and forth, but he was just doing all his work on his computer and not even driving.
Could have sat in the back.
Makes me nervous.
That's weird, isn't it?
It was around 10 o'clock at night. Police had received a call. She'd blocked lane 3. I mean, the fact that traffic was so bad in LA at that time of night. Anyway, by the time the cops got there, she was in the back seat of a passerby's car. That's a nice person who pulls over and just hide out on the back seat.
You got talking fast.
Yeah.
If you were right behind her and she gets out of the car and you're about to berate her because she's just holding up everyone.
Yeah.
And you saw it was Britney Spears.
I know.
That'd be the best.
Well, who says, I'll sit here in traffic as well? Brittany, you sit in my back seat with the kids. That's fine.
Well, no, you just help her push the car off to the side.
Well,
Come on, Brit.
They didn't push it until the cops arrived, and then her hubby came and picked her. Guys, this is cute. I mean, Natalie Portman is obviously in the new Thor. We know Chris Hemsworth to be such a lovely guy, but this probably takes it to the next level. She was talking about a romantic scene that she had to do with him for the new film, and just how considerate he is.
The day we had a kiss scene, he didn't eat meat that morning because I'm vegan.
Oh,
and
that's
he eats
so
meat
cute.
like every half hour.
Yeah, he does.
Like that was so thoughtful. Like that's not something I'm angry about or like care about, but he was just being thoughtful. I was like, that's a very nice person.
Oh, come on.
What are you talking about?
All right.
Meat breath. It's just something you wouldn't think about.
If he's going to turn up with meat breath, I would have thought to make sure there was no meat particles in his mouth. Not meat breath.
Is it hard for a vegan to go out with someone who does eat meat? Would you look at them at the table and go, I don't like this at all?
Well,
would it be very hard?
Maybe it's like a smoker. That even, you might brush your teeth and things, but you can still sort of smell it a bit, taste it a bit. They do it around you, even if it's not in your face.
What, have you ever smelt meat breath?
No, but then maybe when you really come off
Brisket.
meat, that's when you notice it.
Tommy's nodding his head. Does Inga get meat breath a lot, does she?
No, she don't. No, but or burps.
She
burps
a lot.
and the meat
Brisket
sweats.
or pulled pork's another one as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's disgusting.
You can smell, if someone has a snag from Bunnings, you smell that on their
Well,
breath.
that'd be the onion dominating there, but also too much meat can give you the old trumpet bum too, says.
Well,
and that could have been a threat for Hemsworth.
He doesn't have any of those
The old
issues.
Thor.
Finally,
He's
guys.
the thunder.
Gross.
Thor bum over here.
Oh, sorry about
You're
that.
so obsessed with gas. It blows my mind.
know,
Like, you
he's
talk
a-
about farting all day, every day. It's your big thing. I don't get it. You're such a boy.
That's a Hemsworth thing.
All right. Finally, Ed Sheeran has revealed the name of his newborn daughter, who obviously he had in May. Jupiter Seaborn is her name.
Jupiter. Love it.
What's the link to Jupiter, the planet? Sam?
Well, we don't really know. He just
Can
apparently...
someone give me some facts on Jupiter?
Jupiter is the second largest planet.
Yeah, it's second.
Well, maybe that's it. It's second, but then they didn't call. They called their first daughter is Lyra, Antarctica. This one's Jupiter Seaborn, which is Cherry's maiden name.
Is Jupiter a spice or something?
Could it be
as well?
drops of Jupiter by train?
That's juniper.
Juniper. But I've just put a bit of Jupiter on my chicken.
Drops of juniper.
Sure, it's not juniper.
Macca, have we got any drops of Jupiter in the system?
Oh, great.
As a tribute to Ed Sheeran this morning. Jupiter. What else do we know about Jupiter?
Jupiter does have some rings around
yes.
it.
I thought, okay.
Its clouds are 50 kilometres thick.
How many moons has it got, Tommy?
I'm not sure, but it's the fastest spinning planet in the solar system.
So their years, I think their years are only like 30 days or something, aren't they?
Jeez.
You get your Goss and your astronomy.
Facts. Yeah, you see the supermoon, Tommy? That get you going?
Space facts.
Your Christmas
Well done. Now the top trending set.
They were the top
Thought Origin might have been number one, but that's all right.
The Fitzy and Wippa podcast.
Running of the bulls. It's something I will never, ever understand. In fact, I hate bullfighting with a passion.
It's adrenaline, mate. You know what I mean? It's not knowing what's going to happen.
No, you know what's going to happen. You're going to get a spear.
No, majority of people don't get injured.
Well, no, you're right. But I think also, because my mum went over to the running of the bulls once.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, she
had some... No, she was on someone's shoulders.
The wrong way round, though. Rodriguez, I think it was.
Yeah, that's right. She told this story on...
So
my mum.
She certainly wasn't in the running of the bulls, but she was there. But I think the idea is, too, that once they let the bulls go, if you get into the stadium beforehand, you get in for free. That's the gauntlet that you run if you want to go and see a bullfight.
Did she get injured?
I don't think so.
Not at the event.
No. Funny, is it, Tom, to suggest that my mum may have met a man over there and got injured during some sort of secondary activity to the one of the day?
Sexual encounter?
You could have been Spanish. That would have been amazing.
Well, look at him. There's something going on.
Huh?
The hair and the dark
because you don't
You're not
really look
John
like
at all.
John. You don't look like John.
No, you don't.
I look so much like John. He's covered in hair as well.
You're much more European.
You do. There could be a Spanish flavour to you.
Who is Maria, dad?
I don't know what accent that was, but it's
pretty strong,
seriously
though.
offended a few cultures.
I don't understand it. Ricky Gervais makes a lot of comments about bullfighters, and he uses a word that I can never, ever, or will say on air, but it starts with a C, and he can't stand it. And there's campaigns to shut down bullfighting. For the punters that go over there, I just don't understand, right? You've got sort of a 2K race into the stadium. If I was to say to you, hey, I've got this great game, we're going to start on this line, right? And once we start running, we're going to release, say, 10 spears. And those spears can kill you, right? And you've got to run and hope that the spears don't hit you.
Yeah.
Are you in? Hey, says, better than that, we're going to put something that attracts the spears, because, you know, the runners, they wear the white and then they put a red scarf on or a red belt on.
That's one, Brittany.
We're going to put something, right, that attracts the spears to you.
Amazing.
So that spear knows to hit you when it gets within the vicinity. Are you still in?
No,
Sounds like a great game.
Or if you fall over and then you get trampled by everyone else.
Yes,
trying to get
And
there.
these go a lot faster than balls. There's an element of skill to this.
No, the bull goes faster than the man.
Than the spear? No, it doesn't.
What do you mean?
No, it doesn't.
In this analogy, in this
No.
hypothetical, the bull runs faster than the human.
Ask those people who they talk to afterwards who've had an entire horn up their backside, like
straight
not
up the
through your
clacker.
leg or anything,
Yeah.
internal
Well, see,
damage.
there's guys that take it a little bit further than others. You find a spot on the wall, you run 100 metres down when you hear the balls coming,
Jump
and then
up
you
the
jump
wall.
up on another wall.
Yeah.
You know, there's guys with, it's a tradition that's been going for hundreds of years.
I know.
And there's locals that live in the area that really push the limits.
And then the bullfighter, he's just meant to dangle a red flag, right? He's there with his outfit on and his sequence with his fancy hat, and he dances around with his pointy shoes until he drops a spear into the bull. And then it bleeds enough to the point that they kill the bull,
It
right?
is
And then they drag
yeah.
the bull out. Every time you see a bullfighter get a horn up the clacker or into the thigh or even through the gut, you go, well played, bull.
Yeah.
I'm on your side, buddy, because I don't like that.
You know, with the success of SAS, wouldn't it be a great television show, celebrity running of the balls, right? But you get the dregs.
So you get to vote them in,
so
do you?
Coming up next, Prince Andrew. He runs 200 metres in front of the bulls.
You'd get people from, I don't know, Celebrity Apprentice.
And you'd have Ant there just screaming at
Run! Run!
Get up! I don't care if you've got a horn up your clacker. Run!
Sam Burgess is there. He's just still stuck in a tunnel.
Arabella de Busso.
They're all there. What's her name? Redhead Rhonda. What was her name?
See, this is, I think people would watch that, Sarah. And it's the bulls getting back to the dregs of the society.
It's not bad. Hey, Brent and DY, have you been to the running of the bulls?
I have, mate, yeah.
How was it, Brent? Did you get into the stadium free of charge, mate?
We got into the stadium. We got in safely, but unfortunately a guy right in front of us didn't have the same luck. He got gored by one of the bulls right at the entrance.
Oh, my God. How bad, Brent?
Through his thigh and through his abdomen.
That's pretty confronting to watch.
So, Brent, what were your tactics? Were you up on a wall at the start, or what did you do?
We were given some good advice by a guide who was meant to run with us, but after about 30 metres, he jumped out the fence.
Funny
that. Was
that.
no good for us. It was basically look up at all the balconies, watch all the people with the cameras, and when they're pointing down, shift. Get moving.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Hey, Brent, looking back on it and knowing that the bloke got one in the thigh and the gut, you'd probably think it was a stupid idea at the time, yeah?
It's nothing I'd recommend to anybody doing ever again.
Hey, Brent, is it mostly locals or is it tourists?
No, it's all touros. There's a few locals that run, but it's mostly tourists.
Okay, the penny's dropped. The joke's on us, isn't it?
Isn't it?
And the rest of the world. Come over here, guys. This is what we do. Please, welcome. Here, have a horn.
The big challenge is it basically starts the night before. The bull runs the end of the night.
So it's the party. It's the party around it, Brent.
Yeah, the party's enormous. Basically kicks off at about 6 p.m. And goes through till about 7 a.m. and then they run it at 8.
When
so
you're hammered.
Not only do they get the tourists to run it, the night before they take all your money, get you sloshed, right? So you don't know what you're doing, and then you get a horn in the gut. What a great trip. First class and 50K, Brent. Get back over there with your mates.
Thank you, mate.
The Fitzy and Wippa Show is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.